Hey, thanks for joining us. John's got the night off. The 2012 Cars Safeway Great Alaska Shootout came to a close on Saturday night. Another banner was going to be raised, and shortly after the championship, teams packed their bags to return to their respective campuses. But they didn't do so without having a week that's worth talking about. Let's go ahead and relive the special moments from this year's Shootout with a week in review.
They came on planes only a week ago and were welcomed with Alaskan hospitality.
I'm Matt. Nice to meet you.
A first for many teams.
And we don't have anybody on this trip that's ever been to Alaska, so it's going to be new to everybody. We have a tremendous host that's going to take care of us. We have a trip to the wildlife preserve and gonna see the sights.
And there were plenty of sights to be seen. On Tuesday, Belmont had the chance to make friends with Alaska's version of their mascot.
We've been talking about this bear for days. Oh, interaction. Gotta give him a
Oh, yeah, USP.
Oh, man, you.
Oh, he's going.
That's just selfish.
He used the bathroom and went back to bed.
While the men's teams were having their fun, the women's field was in the midst of their tournament. The Utah State Aggies gave quite the show in the first round, right down to the wire.
I thought it was a bit left. The one shot tonight I thought was in, and it went in, so that's a little bit lucky for me, I guess.
UAA pulverized the Bisons in their first round matchup, but would ultimately take home second place in this year's tournament. Across town on the same day, the men's teams were filling up with good food and a couple good jokes.
Off the hair right off your head, but looking around the room, I believe several of you have already heard that one.
But when the first ball was tipped for the 2012 Cars Safeway Great Alaska Shootout, the joking was pushed to the wayside. Belmont proved to be too much for the Seawolves, and Warren Niles single-handedly brought down Loyola Marymount.
I think our players got together and decided they wanted Warren Niles to go right to the Hall of Fame in Springfield after tonight's game. He'd be a first ballot shoe-in the way we got it.
Some may say the grandiose of the historic tournament has faded in recent years, but this year's tournament still packed a punch of good talent. Speaking of packing, two players were able to pack their bags to fly home for the first time to play in front of their Alaskan family.
I loved it. It's like a dream come true playing here. Because growing up, I was always at this tournament, so playing here is just a dream come true.
All my family and stuff were in the stands, so that's probably happened twice, 2 or 3 times in the last 4 years. So it was just a great thing to look up and see my family and friends up in the crowd.
Unique. A lone word that comes to mind when thinking of this year's Shootout. Unique is a Division II team that beats out half the Division I field. Unique are the moments that will last beyond the basketball games. Unique is a team called the 49ers being able to grasp onto the gold. For the players, it just doesn't get any more unique than that. They came on planes, they left as champions.
Congrats to the 49ers winning this year's tournament. The 2013 tournament field promises some great basketball. The 8-team field will be Iowa, Harvard, Pepperdine, TCU, Toledo, Denver, Indiana State, and UAA. And you can check all of those teams out at youralaskalinked.com. We'll have a short story on there in just a bit. And maybe we should have given you the spoiler alert on who won this year's Great Alaska Shootout, but just act surprised if you already don't know. Let's go ahead and send it away to the Sullivan Arena one last time for the Shootout Championship, and it would be against Charlotte and Northeastern. Charlotte's going to open up the game on a 12-3 run, courtesy of Ivan Binkovich. The coach is going to talk a little bit about this guy a little bit later. He's a great guy. Nails the three. Northeastern, though, is going to rally back. This time, David Walker with a 3 at the top of the key. Going to keep the Huskies inside the ball game really close early on. Huskies next trip down, Marco Benegas Flores with the steal, save, taking it down the court, and the assist. That would be Joel Smith for the easy work done. They're down 14-9. Smith was the game's high scorer at 19. Now to the tournament's MVP, Perea Henry with the reverse lay-in. That's 49ers doing a great job with the passing game. To the second half now, Denzel Ingram shakes and bakes his way for an easy 2. He had 7 in the game. The Charlotte 49ers would roll in this one, 67-59. Let's hear from their coach on just the overall impact that the team has had while being at the Great Alaska Shootout.
Guys really grew up. You know, we saw a little bit of everything. We saw
full court presses. We saw physical play. But I thought it was a total team effort each night. We were able to play 9-10 guys each night, and I think that helped us maybe wear down the opponents a little bit. But I'm just so proud of these guys. They're trying to really become a basketball team, which is that's hard to do in this day and age where guys truly care for each other, but that's what we're trying to build. It's just such an honor to be in this tournament. I mean, it's humbling when you look up there and you see some of those schools that have won this thing, and the climate's cold, but the hearts are warm up here. So I really enjoyed the hospitality, and so did our team. I got to give some credit to Ivan Benkovic. He hadn't played particularly well or a lot in our first 3 games, and he just really committed himself in practice to coming back and practicing harder. We're trying to have a type of team where any given night it could be a different guy, and that's kind of what you want a team to look like. We got an extremely difficult schedule coming up ahead, some very good teams that we have to face. But to be off to this start, it's encouraging, and it's something that, it's good for our guys to be excited about it, but we want to stay humble and keep working as well.
Well, the climate is cold and the hearts are warm. What a great little sentiment there from their coach. The Charlotte 49ers leave Alaska with a perfect 6-0 record to start the season. Do we have the national scoreboard tonight, fellas? We do, and that would be Carolina winning the big Monday Night Football game 30-22 over the Eagles. Cam Newton had himself a game, maybe the first time he's had a good game all season long. 306 yards, 2 touchdowns, and also Bryce Brown with the Eagles adding 2 touchdowns, 178 yards, 19 carries. The guy came out of nowhere, and he made something happen on Monday Night Football during the prime time. So, yeah, there's your sports block, Megan. And just one last note for you. High school basketball started today. Basketball tryouts all around Alaska, so we can't wait to give you a couple previews. Some pretty good basketball teams.
Yeah, get on the court, kicking off the season.
Absolutely.
Thanks.